Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to go over people just not holding back against woke after the presidential election and the whole 4B movement, and let's just say, make mental hospitals great again. Now, I love these videos because you've been seeing so much of all these people losing their minds, literally logging on and crying and screaming about an election. It's just a wonderful, hilarious world. You've seen in a couple of other videos people losing it after the election. Well, this one is people not holding back. So, if you're new to the channel, please go down there, hit that like, subscribe, and share, and let's get rolling with the video.
Brainwashed, bitchy, bitter, and now bald. I think I finally understand the 4B movement.
I can't believe you voted for Trump. He's a felon. Yeah, well, so is your baby daddy, but you still let him in your Oval Office.
I would never date a man who voted for Trump.
Conservative women.
You promise?
I'm not even gonna hold y'all long today, I promise, but it's extra clear to me that so many of you truly want a boundaryless, moralless, godless, no accountability having, extra perverted and over sexualized, flavor of fuck off Diddy society that's governed by brain dead celebrities, and it shows. Heal that shit, because it's real weird.
So you guys are not upset that all the celebrities that were literally telling you to vote for Kamala Harris were all paid? All of them. I would be pissed. I bet you Trump didn't pay Joe Rogan. Trump didn't pay Elon. He did not pay Dr. Phil. He didn't pay Hulk Hogan, or any of the endorsement he got and had. He didn't pay for it.
If you are a real man, you should be supporting this 4B movement. It's literally helping you cut out all the bullshit of wondering, the woman you're about to date, is she crazy? Should you have kids with her? They're literally telling you who you shouldn't date and who you shouldn't marry and procreate with. And I am all for this because I am a boy mom that eventually is going to have a son of dating age, and half of my work is done now.
Unpopular opinion, this is the reason why women couldn't vote for so long. This is the reason why. Like right now, what are we seeing? A division between men and women, where men are saying we're the leaders and we're saying this is the right way to go, and women are like, you're wrong, we're going to go this way. Why? Because of emotion. There's no logic, Steve. I have not talked to one female Kamala supporter that has any logical explanation for why they're voting for her.
They don't even know her.
Completely agree.
They don't even know her. They're just all their what they do know, they know Trump.
Yeah.
And they know what they've been told, which is 90% of it's lies. So that's all they know. They don't even know her.
I've had people who are going to school for psychology majors message me, telling me that they hope that I get essayed because I voted for Trump. Not to mention, they also made threats saying, oh, I'm strapped up. Honey, you try to ban the ones that we got already, okay? Beside that, keep in mind, these are the same people who need cookies and milk offered to them to cope with Trump winning the election. These are the same people who have been shaving their heads, losing their minds, haven't showered for 5 days because they believe that Trump is going to take away their rights. And this is why Trump is the first Republican in history to win with that many popular votes. And this is why when it comes to Democrats, they have lost the majority of Americans already. Because it's either you take a step back, stop calling everything misogynistic and racist, having people think that they have to walk around eggshells for you, because you lived a privileged life already, setting up your camera and losing your mind, recording yourself on your $1,000 iPhone. Or you can decide to keep doing it and live in your delusions. And then they wonder why they lost. Majority of liberals went with the second choice because they have the emotional maturity of a 5-year-old. But these people are adults, and Trump is your daddy, whether you like it or not.
I'm sure against your will, you've learned about the 4B movement. Apparently liberal women, because Trump won, are now withholding sex from men. They're not getting married or having babies, and they are, I guess, becoming less attractive than they already were. I thought this was kind of what they've been doing the whole time, but apparently this is a new movement, which is funny. In my head, I'm thinking all the conservative women, Republican women, are all probably popping out babies as they would be, and you know, making love because they're happy Trump won and that's what they want to do anyway. So I'm not really, all I can think now is like, okay, the next election is going to be incredible because if we continue this path, they're not going to be procreating and we will be. So won't the country just continue to get more and more red? So that's what we call win-win. Also, good news for them, since they were so worried about abortions. If this is the route you guys are taking, congrats. That is no longer your biggest issue. It's actually not an issue at all. So, congrats on your movement. I hope you stick to it. And you literally just solved your own biggest issue.
Nobody is ready for this conversation, but the Democratic Party is inherently rooted in evil. And they don't believe that they are because if you notice, most people on the very far left actually lack very common, basic US history knowledge. One of those things being that Democrats were the ones who owned slaves and Republicans were the ones who freed the slaves. The Democrats will never be able to outlive the stain on them that is the Jim Crow laws. And they will tell you as Republicans that you are racist and that you are taking the rights away of African American people in this country, which is entirely false. And there was even a woman who came on this app crying after the Trump victory, saying that she felt like she was going to become a slave. Now let's fast forward to 2024, shall we? What exactly is the Democratic Party pushing today? Oh, just the murder of innocent children inside the womb in the name of women's rights. Just the demonizing of all white males in this country and the working class people of this country. Just the absolute outrageous idea that it's okay for children to change their gender with dangerous chemicals that are actually causing health complications and making them die early deaths. The idea that the traditional household is inherently sexist and that women need to be more masculine and have careers and it's okay for men to stay home and not be providers. They are completely destroying everything that is America's backbone, not to mention the praising of a candidate who was telling them to leave the rally at which they were shouting, Jesus is Lord. So you guys, please tell me, let's look at the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. What agendas are they pushing? And tell me which one is pushing evil into this world. And I bring up the Jim Crow laws to specifically make a point because if the Democratic Party does not get it together and erase this radical left agenda that they are pushing, their party will fall apart and we will be a one-party nation, which truthfully I don't want to see because we're a democracy. I fully believe in that. However, if they keep pushing this radical agenda, their party is going to fall apart.
Shave your heads, divorce your husbands, and get your tubes tied. You know what? As a conservative woman, I support that for all liberal women because clearly you guys have such a bad mental health crisis going on that you can't see what the real problems are in the world, right? Abortion is not an issue. Women's rights are not an issue. And if you guys want to sit there and complain when there are real life issues in the world, real women struggling with things, right? Real women who get abused on the daily in other countries, since you guys are so fun spending your money and sending it off to foreign countries, right? Why don't you give a shit about those fucking women? Why don't you give a shit about the women that are getting abused and raped on the fucking border? Why don't we have that conversation? Or you're not ready for that conversation. So again, if you want to have this 4B movement, by all means, go ahead. Because in my personal opinion, maybe you shouldn't be reproducing if that's what you're going to create. Like, think about it. Think about the fucking insanity that you are creating and the mental health crisis that lives in this country is absolutely sick because of people like you and the way that you operate. But again, hey, you don't want to have babies? Don't do it. But leave our babies alone. That's the last time I'll say that. All day, every day, therapist, mother, maid, then a virgin, nurse, then...
Why is nobody asking why this 4B movement even exists? Seriously, how did these radical feminists get to this point? This isn't just one bad boyfriend or a father who wasn't there. It's college, friends, commercials, movies, shows, the news. They've had a lifetime of reinforcement convincing them that they are perpetual victims of the patriarchy. And now you're seeing the logical conclusion. Actual insanity on full display. Then to confuse these women even more, there's this absurd inconsistency where the same feminists who scream free the nipple are actually the same ones applauding them for suppressing their sexuality. Do you see how backwards that is? It's like trying to walk north and south at the same time. And here's the irony. This so-called empowerment that they cling to isn't actually rooted in understanding men. They're rebelling by taking away what they think men actually value most about them, but their solution reveals just how off base they are. I don't have time for losers who spend all day basking in their victimhood, men or women. If you were that concerned about some societal issue, you'd be out there trying to fix it rather than attempting to punish punish your so-called perpetrators by shaving your head to some shitty TikTok soundtrack. So please, be my guest. Eliminate yourself from the gene pool. You're an embarrassment to people who want to make life better for women, and you're the last woman that any man would ever want to date.
I, as a liberal, have been getting so much heat from you guys because I'm coming out saying I don't believe 70 million people that voted for Donald Trump are racist, sexist, and homophobic. And like, I'm getting heat for that as a liberal. Like, I'm on your side. But I'm not going to label 70 million people that I've never met as racist. I think those people wanted what's best for our country, just like we do. I'm able to have this discussion with people without getting overly emotional and without hating that person. I don't hate people that disagree with me. I don't hate people that voted for Donald Trump, because I don't believe that division is going to fix our situation at all. And I think what we're doing as a group and as a community is actually really toxic. And nobody's going to listen to us if we're just spewing out these fucking outlandish statements calling all of these people racist. I'm going to get so much fucking heat for this. I already know, but can we just try to think a little bit more critically instead of grouping together and just being the victim all the time? Just food for thought. I'm sorry.
Would you date a Trump supporter?
Personally, no, I don't think you should marry somebody or date somebody that doesn't match your values, and that doesn't match my values.
Yeah, I agree. No, like, I feel like we have to agree. Where are you from?
I'm from Russia. I feel like if I say that, I'd be like canceled by all of you.
No, okay. You're fine.
No. Yeah, I'm fine. Just like no, come. I feel like it's not my country, so I'm not gonna say anything.
Okay. All right.
Basically, yes, she would have been canceled by all of her friends because she supported Trump.
Does anyone else find it insane that the election is making people realize that they should not be hoes? Like, how did Trump getting elected make people realize, damn, you know what? Maybe I should stop slinging cooch out like this is a buffet at Cece's Pizza. Like, that's what made you realize that? What the fuck? Like, your 12th body in 3 months didn't do it for you, and people nicknaming you Slurp and Burp didn't do that shit either, but Orange Man getting elected as president does. How the fuck does that make any sense? And look, guys, I have no issues with hoes being hoes. If you want to be a hoe, by all means, be a hoe. Slang cooch, I don't give a shit. My problem is that I know for a fact that people are not going to be doing this 4B movement shit after like 3 months. Like, half of these people doing 4B all of a sudden 3 weeks ago were shaking ass on a prisoner at a Halloween costume party, and now all of a sudden they want to be fucking Susan B. Anthony. Like, all right, man. Like, I'm sorry, you're full of shit. Glorilla is still in your playlist. I know for a fucking fact. Like, I just know your ass is lying, man. Like, you're just following the trends at this point. Talking about some bullshit like you're gonna move to Canada. Bitch, you're staying here. Shut the fuck up. And look, guys, again, I have no issues with people doing 4B movement. I have an issue with people saying they're gonna do it, and then ultimately they're not gonna do shit. Like, they're literally just a bunch of fucking liars. They're just trying to trend hop and find an excuse to hate on somebody. Like, I've seen this song and dance before. A lot of you guys are not gonna be doing this shit. Like, I genuinely find it insane how the dating culture in today's society is so bad that people need to start a whole movement just to not have sex. Like, I don't know, guys, maybe I'm the crazy one, but not having sex with literally every single organism that comes into your line of sight sounds like something you should have been doing already in the first place. And I already know what a lot of you guys are gonna be saying. You're misogynistic and you hate women. No, I don't. Matter of fact, I actually full-heartedly support the 4B movement because in my opinion, that's like exactly what we need right now. Like, the 4B movement, if done correctly and people actually commit to it, could solve the Western society's issue with dating culture. Like, if more women committed to being celibate, it would cause men and women to stop slinging dick, puss, and STDs to each other like they're trading fucking Pokemon cards. And it would actually cause us to both become more high value and respected people. But again, you guys, let's be honest here. You guys are not doing that shit. Because with the way that the internet works, it's basically impossible for anyone to commit to any sort of movement. Basically impossible. After a couple months, maybe at max years, people will stop doing that shit. Like, in order for me to actually start believing that women will actually start doing this 4B movement bullshit, I'm gonna need to start seeing these motherfuckers fuck the bear. Like, if I start seeing that shit, then alright, people are doing the 4B movement. Until I see that, you guys are full of shit. So yeah, all in all, the 4B movement, I completely support, and I also think that a lot of men should support it, because something a lot of dudes have been complaining about is that women are out bats and hoes and sluts, yet when they all of a sudden start saying, you know what, I actually want to stop being one of those, they start fucking complaining, which honestly makes zero fucking sense. A lot of these dudes are hypocritical as fuck. You cannot ask women to not be hoes and then complain when they decide to not be hoes. But anyways, guys, if you like this video, please join my Discord and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Link is in my bio. Hope you guys have a nice day, though. Bye.